Welcome back to Real Music Radio.
To breaking news in Thailand, police now say an officer has been killed in a raid at a shopping mall to stop a soldier on a shooting rampage.
A frantic scene at a shopping mall in Thailand as a suspect stormed the building and began shooting at large.
As he went on his killing spree, he posted updates on Facebook. Before entering the mall late on Saturday afternoon, he could be seen spraying bullets towards people and passing cars.
Thailand's deadliest mass shooting came to an end Sunday with nearly 30 dead and dozens more wounded. The ordeal lasted 16 hours before he was fatally shot.
Everything was just completely normal, and then all of a sudden, everyone started running, lots of shouting and panicking.
Straighten out, gotta see what it's all about. It's time we should make a stand. If we want to, I know we can. They've opened the curtains now, and I know for certain now we gotta get it all straightened out. Yeah, gotta see if it's hit or miss. Gotta see what the meaning is. Gotta look back at where we've been. We don't wanna go wrong again. This time we can make it right and bring all the truth to light. We gotta get it all straightened out. It seems to me that this old world is nothing but doubt and confusion. This old world might not be ending, but I think it's coming to a conclusion. Heaven help us to see, so we can be free of hate and illusion.
We are dreamers. We need a light to banish the night away. For once, for all and forever. Come what may. Heaven help us to see, so that we can be free to stand in the light of day.
Gotta see what it's all about. It's time we should make a stand. If we want to, I know we can. They have opened the curtains now, and I know for certain now we gotta get it all straightened out. Well, gotta see if it's hit or miss. Gotta see what the meaning is. Gotta look back at where we've been. We don't wanna go wrong again. This time we can make it right and bring all the truth to light. We gotta get it all straightened out.
Welcome back to my music pod. Good to have your ears. I'm Lee Evans, and that was Terry Callier. We've got to get it all straightened out. We sure do, because the way things are going these days, it seems like we're teetering rather precariously on the edge of planetary disaster and potential madness, in spite of, including and possibly because of all the conveniences modern technology has to offer. The easy access to information and almost instant gratification has also brought with it a heightened sense of expectations and stress. Lots more of that. But music still, thank goodness, grounds us. It always helps me to touch back into what is real and, well, more natural. This week I'm combining the news and current concerns with the music on this brand new session of Real Music Radio, which I'm dedicating to our beautiful blue planet, the pale blue dot, as Carl Sagan called it, describing the Earth from space in that famous photograph as seen by Voyager 1 from a distance of more than 4 billion miles.
From this distant vantage point, the Earth might not seem of any particular interest. But for us, it's different. Consider again that dot.
That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam.
In my eyes, indisposed, in disguises no one knows, hides the face, lies the snake, and the sun in my disgrace. Boiling heat, summer stench, neath the blackless sky looks dead. Call my name through the crane, and I'll hear you scream again. Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Won't you come? Stuttering, cold and damp, steal the warm with tire's friend. Times are gone for honest men, and sometimes far too long for slaves. In my shoes, walking slim, in my soul I pray to keep. Heaven sent hell away. No one sings like you anymore. Black hole sun, I won't you come? Ba 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 ba. Wash away the rain. Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? just disappear. Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Black hole sun, black hole sun, won't you come? Black hole sun, black hole sun, won't you come? Black hole sun, black hole sun, won't you
What we need from the world community is partnership, because clearly climate change is something which individual countries can't do anything unless and until the world gets together.
So please tell me, how do you react to these numbers without feeling at least some level of panic? How do you respond to the fact that basically nothing is being done about this without feeling the slightest bit of anger? And how do you communicate this without sounding alarmist? I would really like to know.
Is anyone out there? Does anybody listen or care anymore? We are living on a dying planet. We're killing everything that's alive. And anyone who tries to deny it wears a tie and gets paid to lie. So I wrote these songs for a dying planet. I'm sorry, but I'm telling the truth. And for everybody trying to save it, these songs are for you too. Is there anyone out there?
Young people, above all, young people are here providing solutions, insisting on accountability and demanding urgent action. They are right. My generation has failed in its responsibility to protect our planet. That must change.
Police arrested 12 Indigenous youth activists early Wednesday morning, ending their day-long sit-in occupation of the offices of the Ministry of Energy, Mines and Petroleum Resources in British Columbia.
Because what Indigenous people remember and Canada has forgot is that we have a sacred obligation to this land. As human beings, we all have a responsibility to that which gives us life. And as Indigenous peoples who have safeguarded and stewarded these territories since time immemorial, it is crucial that our sovereignty be respected for our collective climate future.
Carry on, love is coming, love is coming to us all. is gone now. The sun, it comes, the world's under. Rejoice, rejoice, we have no choice but to carry on. Fortunes and fables are able to sing a song. Now witness the quickness with which we belong. To sing the blues, you've got to live the tunes and carry on. Carry on. Love is coming. Love is coming to us all.
Carry On. That's Timothy D. Schmidt with sort of my theme song on the podcast today. A tune originally recorded by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. There's no word about them getting back together or anything, but Neil was recently in the news. He's now officially an American citizen. The Canadian-born rock legend has been diligently trying to gain U.S. citizenship so that he can vote against Donald Trump in the upcoming election. Last week, his dream came true when his application was formally approved. Let's hear one from the tribute to Neil Young album, Borrowed Tunes. This is Tara McLean, a song Neil calls Natural Beauty. We'll also hear a song called Nature's Way. by Spirit, another personal favorite of mine from way back in 1970, long before climate change became a hot topic. There were some ecologically minded songwriters very concerned about Mother Earth. We'll also hear from a modern-day flower child, Norwegian singer-composer Aurora, and her rendition of the standard Nature Boy, first most famously recorded, of course, by Nat King Cole. The song was written by Eden Abez as a tribute to his mentor and teacher who had originally introduced him to quite an interesting social movement coming out of Germany and Switzerland at the time that propagated a back-to-nature lifestyle, emphasizing, among other things, raw organic health food, nudism, sexual liberation, alternative medicine, and even religious reform. And, well, if that all sounds a bit familiar, yes, some of the practitioners of this philosophy went on to directly influence the hippie movement. Also coming up, some requests for Sting and Joni Mitchell, and some rare tracks by Townes Van Zandt, Hedgehoppers Anonymous with arguably the first pop protest song, and the great Tom Lehrer. So keep it here on Real Music Radio.
On a roller coaster ride, and my emotions have to take me on. I heard a newborn baby cry through the night. Oh, I heard a perfect echo die into an anonymous wall of digital sound. Somewhere deep inside of my soul, a natural beauty should be preserved like a monument to judge yourself too harsh, my love. Oh, one day you
Saw the cowgirls lined up on the fence. Brand new Chevrolet. A brand new pair of seamless pants. We watched the moment of defeat. Played back over on the video screen. Somewhere deep inside of my soul. Natural beauty should be preserved like a monument to nature. Don't judge yourself too harsh, my love. Oh, one day you might find yourself in danger. Natural beauty should be preserved like a monument to nature.
There's some breaking news tonight on the coronavirus front. A new flight evacuating Americans from the outbreak zone in China is now headed for the U.S. as concerns rise about the global impact of this virus.
The World Health Organization says the numbers have surged globally. In the past 24 hours, we saw the most reported cases in a single day.
To put it bluntly, we're shadow boxing. We need to bring this virus out into the light so we can attack it properly.
The head of the World Health Organization said today much about the virus remains a mystery and that experts still do not properly understand its transmissibility or severity.
More than 5,500 people are stranded on 2 quarantined cruise ships near Japan and Hong Kong.
9 passengers and 1 crew member taken off the Diamond Princess and in to quarantine.
The World Dream is docked at Hong Kong's Kai Tak cruise terminal with 1,800 people on board. And the Diamond Princess is anchored off the coast of Yokohama near Tokyo with more than 3,700 people on board.
Japan's health minister says the other 3,500 people will stay on board for 2 weeks. Others on board could yet test positive too.
We remain confined to our cabins. We can't even open the door and walk down the corridor.
Now, 10 more people who have tested positive are coming off that ship and being taken to hospital.
A similar situation in Hong Kong, where 30 passengers on this ship have a fever. All 1,800 are being tested.
At the time being, I think we cannot conclude the likely time of finishing the quarantine measures right now.
But one unpleasant repercussion of the global fear of the coronavirus has been a growing number of racist incidents experienced by Chinese and other Asian people.
For the first time in the history of humankind, there is a limit, a physical limit to our perspectives of development. And nature is striking back.
It's nature's way of telling you something's wrong. It's nature's way of telling you in a song. It's nature's way of receiving you. It's nature's way of retrieving you. Nature's way of telling you it's in the breeze. It's nature's way of telling you dying trees. Oh, it's nature's way of receiving you. It's nature's way of retrieving you. It's nature's way of telling you something's wrong. It's nature's way, it's nature's way. It's nature's way, it's nature's way. It's nature's way of telling you something's wrong. It's nature's way of telling you in a song. Ah, it's nature's way of receiving you. It's nature's way of retrieving you. It's nature's way of telling you something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong.
What's different about novel coronavirus is that we don't know a lot about it yet, and we don't have a vaccine. And so our methods to prevent it are more limited.
With much of the world's second largest economy on lockdown, growing concern about the global impact.
Everybody used to say if America sneezes, the world catches a cold. Really, we're going to find out whether China sneezes if the world catches a cold as well.
The spread of coronavirus is accelerating.
现在还是出现传染的这个现象。We're seeing false and misleading information. It's kind of strange.
医疗人员和防疫物资的紧张仍然是武汉的
Unprecedented quarantine. Wuhan and central China and nearby cities in lockdown.
There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They said he wandered very far, very far, over land and sea. A little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. is to love and be loved in return.
The auroral fire has now grown to 18,500 hectares. That's 185 square kilometres, or nearly 8% of the total landmass of the Australian Capital Territory. The combination of extreme heat, wind and a dry landscape will place suburbs in Canberra's south at risk in the coming days.
About 90 bushfires are burning in different parts of the country.
You remember me when the west wind moves upon the fields of barley. You'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we walk in fields of gold. So she took her love for to gaze a while upon the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her hair came down among the fields of gold. Will you stay with me? Will you be my love among the fields of barley? We'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we lie in fields of gold. See the west wind move like a lover's soul upon the fields of barley. Feel her body rise when you kiss her mouth among the fields of gold. I never made promises lightly, and there have been some that I've broken, but I swear in the days still left we walk in fields of gold. We walk in fields of gold. Since those summer days among the fields of barley, see the children run as the sun goes down among the fields of gold. You'll remember me when the west wind moves upon the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walked in fields of gold. When we walked in fields of gold. When we walked in fields of gold.
Well, it's being called the toxic haze. For weeks, northern Thailand has been rated one of the most polluted regions in the world. The worst wildfires in years, combined with traditional crop burning practices, are blanketing the area in a deadly smog.
Nobody can say with a straight face, well, it's about jobs, when we are talking about the future of the planet. When we are talking about whether or not cities in America and around the world will be underwater, whether we're going to see more and more drought. Everybody knows what's going on in Australia right now. If we don't get our act together, that is the future of the world. We are seeing a prelude to that in California with their terrible forest fires.
This is what happens when you mix forest fires with heavy pollution. It's being called a toxic haze, lingering smoke and noxious fumes, creating a dangerous cocktail.
Put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging night spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? The paved paradise, put up a parking lot. All the trees, put them in a tree museum, and they charged all the people an arm and a leg just to see them. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? The paved paradise, put up a parking lot. On my apples, but leave me the birds and the bees. Please, don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. The paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Late last night I heard the screen door slam, and a big yellow taxi come and took away my old man. Oh, don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. The paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They put up a parking lot. A parking lot. The paved paradise.
The Bulletin of Atomic Scientists has advanced the doomsday clock 20 seconds closer to midnight.
The doomsday clock is a globally recognized indicator of the vulnerability of our existence. It's a striking metaphor for the precarious state of the world. But most frighteningly, as we have just heard, it's a metaphor backed by rigorous scientific scrutiny. This is no mere analogy. We are now 100 seconds to midnight, and the world needs to wake up.
It is 100 seconds to midnight.
It's Good News Week. Someone's dropped a bomb somewhere, contaminating atmosphere and blackening the sky. It's Good News Week. Someone's found a way to give the rotting dead a will to live, go on and never die. Have you heard the news? What did it say? Who's won that race? What's the weather like today? It's Good News Week. Famines shake the need for coal by stimulating birth control. We're wanting less to eat. It's Good News Week. Doctors finding many ways of wrapping brains in metal trays to keep us from the heat. It's Good News Week. Someone's dropped a bomb somewhere, contaminating atmosphere and blackening the sky. It's Good News Week. Someone's found a way to give the rotting dead a will to live, go on and never die. Have you heard the news? What did it say? Who's won that race? What's the weather like today? What's the weather like today? It's Good News Week. Families check the need for coal by stimulating birth control. We're wanting less to eat. It's Good News Week. Doctors finding many ways of wrapping brains in metal trays to keep us from the heat. To keep us from the heat. To keep us from the heat.
The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists held its annual Doomsday Clock event this morning.
Closest to midnight that the clock has ever been set.
It doesn't seem like people talk about this anymore. I mean, in the 1980s, you were making films about it, diving under desks the day after. Remember that big film? I don't hear much talk
Nobody's
about
talking about it. The Congress, with some exceptions, is totally complacent. It looks like the Russians seem to be quite exuberant in their nuclear missile building program, and then you have the other countries of the world. I think we're in kind of a sleepwalking state. I mean, there's only one man that needs to pull the trigger. That's Donald Trump on our side and Mr. Putin on the other side. On the other hand, we are linked in this community of people, 7.3, 7.4 billion, whether it's cyber or the international monetary system or weather or disease or climate change or habitat destruction or the threat of nuclear war. For the first time in human history, we're all linked together. So there is a planetary quality to our politics, or there should be. I mean, I think of the Berlin Wall and being locked in. Trump sees it as locking out the immigrants. This is a humanitarian crisis that I would like to see some positive intervention, some outreach. No, we're just tighten it up, circle the wagons, America, the indispensable first. Well, that's not planetary realism. That's planetary insanity.
When you attend a funeral, it is sad to think that sooner or later those you love will do the same for you. And you may have thought it tragic, not to mention other adjectives, to think of all the weeping they will do. But don't you worry, no more ashes, no more sackcloth, and an armband made of black cloth will someday nevermore adorn a sleeve. For if the bomb that drops on you gets your friends and neighbors too, there'll be nobody left behind to grieve, and we will all go together when we go. What a comforting fact that is to know. Universal bereavement, an inspiring achievement. Yes, we all will go together when we go. We will all go together when we go. All suffused with an incandescent glow. No one will have the endurance to collect on his insurance. Lloyds of London will be loaded when they go. We will all fry together when we fry. We'll be French fried potatoes by and by. There will be no more misery when the world is our rotisserie. Yes, we all will fry together when we fry. Down by the old maelstrom, there'll be a storm before the calm, and we will all bake together when we bake. There'll be nobody present at the wake, with complete participation in that grand incineration. Nearly 3 billion hunks of well-done steak. Oh, we will all char together when we char, and let there be no moaning of the bar. Just sing out a Te Deum when you see that ICBM, and the party will be come as you are. We will all burn together when we burn. There'll be no need to stand and wait your turn. When it's time for the fallout and St. Peter calls us all out, we'll just drop our agendas and adjourn. You will all go directly to your respective Valhallas. Go directly, do not pass, go, do not collect $200. And we will all go together when we go. Every Hottentot and every Eskimo. When the air becomes Uranus, we will all go simultaneous. Yes, we all will go together when we all go together. Yes, we all will go together when we go.
You're listening to Real Music Radio with Lee Evans.
The bomb wrapped up in business cards and stained with steak. Who hires a maid to wash his money? Who keeps politicians on the take? Who puts outspoken third worlders in jail just to shut them down? All the lies vary from place to place, but the truth is still the same, even in this town. Money junkies all over the world trample us on their way to the bank. They run in every race. Windigo, Windigo, Windigo. Third worlders see it first. The dynamite, the dozers, the cancer and the acid rains. The corporate caterpillars come into our backyards and turn the world to pocket change. Indian reservations are the nuclear front line. Uranium poisoning kills. We're starving in a handful of gluttons. We're drowning in their gravy spills. Their tongues are silver forks. There's a lack of wisdom. You can hear it on their breath. Windigo, 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 Windigo. It's delicate confronting these priests of the golden bowl. They preach from the pulpit of the bottom line, and their minds rustle with billion-dollar bills. You say silver burns a hole in your pocket, and gold burns a hole in the soul. When uranium burns a hole in forever, it just gets out of control. There was a crooked man who walked a crooked mile. He raised a crooked sixpence to hide a crooked style. He won a crooked vote, and he smiled a crooked smile. Windigo, Windigo, Windigo. Their tongues are silver forks. There's a lack of wisdom. You can hear it on their breath. Windigo, 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 Windigo.
The wonderful Buffy Sainte Marie and the Priests of the Golden Bull. It's just what you might think it's about. The term that she repeats in the chorus, Wendigo, actually refers to a mythological cannibalistic giant featured in the Algonquin language and native North American mythology. Wendigos are people who have been transformed into monsters by the consumption of human flesh. I think, well, for sure, Buffy is deliberately being a bit facetious, comparing the rich corporate elite businessmen of the world to these monstrous creatures and their associates. Buffy is a living legend. I've been listening to her songs like Universal Soldier since the early 60s when I first started buying albums, right? I was a big fan of the folk revival period. And I'm really happy to say that Buffy will be celebrating her 79th birthday later this month. Let's hear one from another musical legend, but sad to say, one no longer with us, Townes Van Zandt, and a song he wrote called Lungs. All the things going on with pollution and the coronavirus sometimes just makes me want to stop, pause, and wonder what kind of world are we living in now where the very air we breathe isn't safe anymore? And how did we let this happen?
See if I can play this one. Well, won't you lend your lungs to me? Mine are collapsing. Plant my feet and bitterly breathe up the time that's passing. Breath I'll take and breath I'll give, and pray the day's not poison. Stand among the ones that live in lonely indecision. Well, fingers walk the darkness down, mind is on the midnight. Gather up the gold you found, you fool, it's only moonlight. If you try to take it home, your hands will turn to butter. You better leave this dream alone, try to find another. Salvation sat and crossed herself, called the devil partner. Wisdom burned upon a shelf, who'll kill the raging cancer. Seal a river at its mouth, take the water prisoner. Fill the sky with screams and cries, bathe in fiery answers. Jesus was an only son, and love his only concept. With strangers crying foreign tongues and dirty up the doorstep. And I for one and you for two ain't got the time for outside. Keep your injured looks to you, and we'll tell the world that we tried.
Besides protecting themselves from the coronavirus, people are also wearing masks to protect themselves from air pollution. The density of the fine dust particles has been on the rise in many areas, especially in Bangkok and its vicinity.
PM 2.5, they go to the deepest sections of our lungs, and depending on their physical and chemical characteristics, they can spread from there through our body by the bloodstream.
Is there no way our body will self-remove the PM 2.5 particles? Will it always be in our body?
What we breathe should be a fresh air.
the only way we will defeat this outbreak is for all countries to work together in a spirit of solidarity and cooperation. We're all in this together, and we can only stop it together. So the rule of the game is solidarity, solidarity, solidarity. But we see this missing in many corners, and that has to be addressed.
There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds can show much resistance from behind. I think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Sound, everybody look what's going down. Yeah. Paranoia strikes deep into your life, it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid. You step out of line, the man comes and he'll take you away. I think it's time to stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. You gotta stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Children, what's that sound? You gotta stop. Children.
Right now, we are desperate for any sign of hope. Well, I'm telling you, there is hope. I have seen it. But it does not come from the governments or corporations. It comes from the people. The people who have been unaware but are now starting to wake up. And once we become aware, we change. People can change. People are ready for change. And that is the hope, because we have democracy. And democracy is happening all the time, not just on election day, but every second and every hour. It is public opinion that runs the free world. In fact, every great change throughout history has come from the people. We do not have to wait. We can start the change right now. We, the people.
I dreaming, well, of an aspect bright and fair? Am I sleeping? It was broken, but my dream, it lingered near in the form of shining valleys, oh, where the pure air recognized in my senses, newly opened, and I awakened into the cry that the people have the power to redeem the world from fools. Upon the meek, the grace is shower. Well, it's decreed, the people rule. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. Vengeful aspects became suspect and bending low as if to hear. Well, in the armies ceased advancing because the people held their ear. Oh, and the shepherds and the soldiers, well, they laid beneath the stars, exchanging visions and laying arms to waste in the dust, in the form of shining valleys, oh, where the pure air recognized, and my senses newly opened, 'cause I awakened into the cry. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. Where there were deserts, I saw fountains, and like cream, the waters rise, and we strolled there together, with none to laugh nor criticize. Well, then the leopard and the lamb, they lay together, truly bound. Well, I was hoping, in my hoping, to recall what I had found. I was dreaming, in my dreaming, God knows, a pure view, and I surrender into my sleeping. Well, I commit my dream to you. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. The power to dream, to roll, to wrestle the world from fools. Well, it's decreed, the people rule. Well, it's decreed, the people rule. Listen, I believe everything we dream can come to pass through our union. We can turn the world around. We can turn the earth's revolution. People have the power. People have the power. The people have the power. People have the power. 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 People have the power. Power. The power to dream. Good night.
We are one people, and I don't care if you're black, you're white, you're Latino, Native American, Asian American, you're gay, you're straight. That's not what it's about. What it's about is that we are human beings, and we share common dreams and aspirations.
Everybody gather round and listen to my song. I've only got one. We who are young should now take a stand. Don't run from the burdens of women and men. Continue to give, continue to live for what you know is right. Most of your life can be out of sight. Withdraw from the darkness and look to the light. For everyone's free, at least that's the way it's supposed to be. And we just keep on keeping on. We just keep on keeping on. Many think that we're blowing it, but they too will soon admit that there's still a lot of love among us. And there's still a lot of faith, warmth, and trust when we keep on keeping on. Before we dismiss, one thing I insist. When you have your young, remember this song. And our world's surroundings is leaps and bounds, ups and downs is reality. Teach them to be strong, and when they are grown, they can proudly imply that we were an alright guy. For all the wrong now is right. This nation's people are now united as one. And we just keep on keeping on. We just keep on keeping on. Many think that we're blowing it, but they too will soon admit that there's still a lot of love among us. And there's still a lot of faith, warmth, and trust when we keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on, y'all. Keep on, keep on. Keep on keeping on. We got to move on up, y'all. Keep on, keep on. Keep on, keep on. Some years back I remember, still in my mind so well. My mama made this one clear, and I found it never failed. Never worry too long about what goes wrong. Today in sorrow, we got joy tomorrow. Keep on, keep it on. Keep on, keep on. Keep on, keep it on. Keep on, keep on. We just keep on keeping on. We just keep on keeping on. Many think that we're blowing it, but they too will soon admit that there's still a lot of love among us. And there's still a lot of faith, warmth, and trust when we keep on keeping on. Ooh, we got to move on up and keep on, keep on, keep on, keeping on, keep on, keep on, keep on, keeping on.
Weird personal selections today by favorite musical artists of mine, and I hope yours too. Curtis Mayfield just then, and before Townes Van Zandt, Joni Mitchell, Neil Young song, Joe Walsh at the beginning of the session, and that version of Black Hole Sun by Postmodern Jukebox. That was interesting. Yann Tierson also was in the mix, and Tom Lehrer with When We Go, We'll All Go Together. That one really takes me back to my childhood, back in the 50s when I was growing up in America. And we were taught to duck and cover under our desks at school, right, in case of an atomic bomb going off, as if that would make much of a difference. Because of all the troubling events already having taken place in the very first month of the year, including the horrendous bushfires in Australia, the mass shooting right here in Thailand, the U.S. almost getting into World War III with Iran, and the coronavirus now scaring the heebie-jeebies out of everybody. Two phrases keep popping back into my mind from out of the past. That old Winston Churchill quote, "If you're going through hell, keep going." And keep on keeping on. That was a popular expression back in the 60s. I've been letting those words kind of guide me today on this musical journey through some rather dark, dangerous days. Hopefully, we're going to head on back out into the light, get a little bit more positive here by the end of our trip. To help us keep on keeping on, here's one more from Soul to Soul. You may remember this one of the coolest singles of the late 80s. It's got that positive vibe, which I just love, and it's something we all need to hold on to now, as things are most likely bound to continue to get even a little bit more tense around the world. Keep on keeping on, and keep on moving. Thank you so much for joining me on this special this session of Real Music Radio. Hope you enjoyed it. Sure enjoyed making it for you. Special thanks to all my patrons. Really appreciate your support on Patreon. By the way, if you're not a patron but do enjoy listening to the podcast, just click on the icon for Real Music Radio on my Patreon page link when you're listening to the show. Push the orange button, and then you can become a patron of the show too for $1 a month. The amount really is up to you, and by doing so, you'll get immediately access to all kinds of special bonuses, extra episodes, extended interviews, and other groovy stuff and features just for patrons of Real Music Radio. A virtual hug going out to Sue. That Townes Van Zandt song was for you. Yes, it was. Chris, Keith, David over at Smalls, Poom, Tony, Naresh, Sasha, Michael, Marcello, Sun, Mary Beth, Pam, and Pooh, and everyone, even if you're only contributing $1 a month. Love to you all. Thank you so much for helping me to keep it real. Take good care and stay aware.